Okay, so we've kind of hinted at it, but it was this kind of weirdo material was 2 of these 7.
Happened twice.
This is chalkboard?
This is bought from Home Depot. It's MDF with chalkboard material already on it. And if you would have came to me and said, hey Matt, can I cut this? I would have done exactly what you just did. I would have came over, making sure I'm touching the suspect side, touching it to the blade, and checking to see if the red light goes off, and it's not.
Yeah.
So I'd have been like, you're fine.
Go ahead.
You know, and in this case, you would have set it off.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, well, crap, we just all learned something. What you don't want to do is then go immediately to the next wood shop and try the other table saw.
Yeah, so that's another thing too, in the whole, what do I do if I set it off? If you set it off, and you're not just cutting through regular old plywood that's totally dry, don't just keep going. You said two people actually touched their finger.
2 people, one person was cutting a thin piece just like we were demonstrating, cutting like this, and I think their thumb hit the top of it. That was one. Another time was someone was cutting a couple different smaller pieces and they were still left up here. Came over, turned the machine off. While the blade was spinning down, they came over to move the pieces and touch the blade.
So that sort of winding down was one of the actual fingers to blade.
Yes, exactly. Which in that case, it could have been a Band-Aid. Who knows? It depends how long that blade.
You're talking about how bad the injury would have been. So what else do we have?
2 of these.
2 of them. Metal, aluminum guides.
Exactly. The metal, they hadn't adjusted their stop here to miss the blade. It was out and it hit the blade. That set it off twice.
So there's 6 total.
That's 6 total. What was the, so 1, 2.
I'm just testing your memory here.
1, 2, 3. No, there was 3 fingers.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking when you said that. So 2 were finger while it was running, and then one of them was shooing away
while
your
it
drops.
was spinning down.
Okay.
Someone was cutting a really small piece like this, and they had a push stick on this piece, but then they were just supporting it on this side, and it was fine until about here, and then this scrap piece shot back, and their finger just went whoop.
Oh, out of the way.
Yep.
The thing that brought this was you had made a post on the Facebook group, the Idea Foundry members, and you said that we're going to start charging people.
Exactly.
So basically the idea is, obviously in theory, if you cut your finger, that's a small drop in the bucket, $100 compared to what you would pay or loss of a finger for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But so basically what we're trying to do is say 7 times in 1 week is a lot. If you're cutting something conductive, you really should be looking at this board and deciding whether or not you should be disabling it or not.
Yes.
And then, basically saying that's a lot to have the Idea Foundry pay $800.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
Yeah, we can't, with what we charge here in the wood shop, that's, we don't want to double and triple the prices. In this case, where 99.9% of the time it's something you did wrong, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for that. So it's about $115.
You have set it off, but you
said
it was doing something dumb. What were you doing?
Well, and this is something we didn't talk about, is if you're cutting really thick material, I've found this a couple times. If you try to cut that in one pass and you're really bogging down that blade, I don't know why it does it, and I don't know if it's supposed to do it, but I've had people set it off that way.
Huh. So it's kind of like a overload or something.
So you have to really be burning through like big, heavy, thick wood. And in all honesty, that's not the proper way to use the table saw. You raise the blade up a little bit, make a cut, raise it up a little bit more, make a cut, maybe an inch at a time. But I was cutting through a big 2-inch piece of walnut, and
there's got to be a limit to everything, right?
Snap. And that's happened probably 2 or 3 times. It's pretty rare, but it does happen.
So I don't want to scare people is what I'm saying. If someone's just using the table saw occasionally and they're thinking $100 is a lot, if I'm just going to set this thing off, I would say don't be scared about it.
Yes.
It's never happened to me. It's pretty rare.
It's pretty rare. If you're, like I said, if you're just cutting normal wood, plywood, particle board, melamine, anything like that, you don't have to worry at all, unless you touch it. In that case, thank God it's here.
You want it.
Yes. But yeah, if you're messing with other tools, other materials, that's when it should just perk in your brain like, I'll go find Matt. Let me go find Matt and ask Matt to help me with this.
You'd rather people stop you and ask than risk setting it off.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
That's not the purpose to scare you, it's just to show the different things that have cut it off, and it's always something silly, unfortunately.
Well, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
And telling us all about the SawStop.
For sure. Thanks, guys.